exactly what is a customer plan? Well, obviously it starts with the customer experience. Obviously it has to connect back to a business model. But the customer plan is all built around customer metrics. Now think about the traditional business plan. The traditional business plan has very recognizable metrics, and it's not that these metrics are no longer important, like what's your revenue growth, what's your gross margin, what's your profit contribution, often measured as cash flow. But those metrics are always going to be important in building a business. But even more important are the customer metrics. So what is a customer metric? Well, a customer metric might be, what's the acquisition cost of a customer? What's the cost of retaining that customer? What's the cost of the lost sales of a lost customer when you have to replace that customer? My experience in terms of the cost of replacing a lost customer, the lost sales of a customer who you've lost to someone else, and having to get a new customer to come in and get back to that same level of sale that you lost with the previous customer, that can cost you between 5 and 8 times more than if you had retained that customer in the first place. And this is a generalization that's kind of a rule of thumb that I've seen work across a wide range of different industries. In fact, if you look at that same perspective, but this time in terms of lost profits, not just lost sales, the cost of replacing the lost profit of a lost customer with a new customer to get back to that level of profitability can be anywhere from 10 to 15 times more expensive than if you'd retained that customer in the first place. Now, look how that shifts your attention as a management in terms of saying, I've got to not only keep customers happy with a great customer experience, I don't want to lose those customers. That's called customer churn. And if I lose those customers, I'm going to be at a serious disadvantage versus other companies in my industry if they're able to retain their customers. The wireless carrier industry is an industry that focuses very much on customer churn. And the firms that have low churn tend to be very profitable. The customers that have high churn and have to keep replacing those customers with new customers, their economics are dramatically different. So customer metrics become increasingly important as you're building out your customer plan. The lifetime value of a customer is so important because some customers are going to be your customer for a transaction and they're gone. Whereas if you have recurring revenue from a customer, where that customer is coming back either through a subscription service or because they like your service and you keep them engaged and then re-engaged, those recurring revenue businesses are far more valuable than transaction-only businesses. So the customer plan aligns strategically with the lights-out customer experience. The better the customer experience, the more that customer is likely to stay a customer and is likely to refer their experience with your product or service to other customers.